There is no miracle pill to fitness, to big arms, to a big chest. It's work. That's why we enjoy it as a population. It's because you look at somebody who's put on a lot of fitness, and whether you know it or not, you're actually appreciating the amount of work it took. Same thing with a business. When we admire it from afar, we can appreciate the amount of work it took. I love the correlations between business and fitness, because once you understand fitness, you really understand business. I tell people all the time, you can't just show up one day into the gym and say, I want abs. You have to put in the work. But there's a smart way to do it, and there's a way I really want you to think about it. Because if you're out there and you're not feeling the most confident in the world, maybe you're a little overweight, maybe you're super skinny. But if you have an amazing heart and you're caring, you can bring yourself the rest, and I implore you to do so. Especially if life has walked on you a little bit. If you've been in situations where you couldn't defend yourself, if you didn't feel good about yourself. And I'm not talking shirt off at the beach style. I'm talking about daily lifestyle. You're going to need fitness for your business, but I don't want you to do it the way that everybody on the internet is telling you to do it. I want you to get out there and try a couple things. It could be ballet, it could be capoeira, it could be mixed martial arts, it could be country line dancing. Try some stuff. It doesn't have to be the typical. If it's weightlifting, I think weightlifting is great for every single one of those things. But my idea here is if you get involved, you get active, eventually you want to get a little bit better at it. And one way to get better at it is weightlifting. But I don't want you, when you get to the weightlifting part, to hire an asshole trainer that kicks your ass the first day and you never want to go back. I want you to go in and go through the motions. You know, I have a lot of days that I don't feel like going. And I go in and I start going through the motions. I'm going to do a light day. I almost call it a stretch day. Maybe I'm going to use the machines for the same workout and I'm going to go really light. But what I always find is once I get moving, then I get into it. And I actually have some of my best workouts that way. So if you're a little afraid to do it, go walk on the treadmill for a while. Watch a movie, read a book, just anything that gets yourself active and in the gym. Once you start showing up, you'll start really showing up. Use the machine weights at first. There's good guidelines around it, and they keep you pretty on track for the movements. And don't try to do the heavy load. And in fact, people ask me all the time, it's like, how do you get big arms? They think I have this crazy bicep routine. Fact is, I lift smaller curls than most people do. Here's another thing that really frustrates me. Just because you lift weights does not mean you're a bodybuilder. There is nothing against bodybuilders. It takes a lot of discipline to do it. It's just not me. I like to lift weights because it bolsters anything else I love doing. I like to be capable of hiking a mountain at any moment. I like to go in and train jiu-jitsu with my friends. I love to kickbox. I use weightlifting to supplement these things and be better at them. And that's what I'm getting at with your chosen activity that you try out. A muscle is simply this. It's ripping the muscle and then consuming items that repair it that make it bigger and stronger. If you want to get better at cardio fitness, you have to get out there and use those lungs. Think of it as a balloon you're stretching. You sit there and blow up the balloon over and over again. Eventually it stretches easier. Your lungs work the same way. All this stuff takes practice, but you'd be amazed at how much it changes your life. There's a couple things I would love to thank my younger self for. And starting exercise routines, it's absolutely one of them. I don't know how to live without it anymore. And once you get started on it, it becomes amazing. And I have really good news for you. This is the worst you're ever going to feel. Like once you get out there and you get moving, you'll feel amazing. I moved to Greece for a while, decided to take a cruise last minute. Never do that alone, by the way. I was the only young guy on the boat. But what was so sad to me is to see all these people that have worked their whole lives, that were the backbone of America. These are the 9-to-5ers. They're really the ones supporting the country. All that work so they could go to Greece in their retirement, and they can't even get off the damn boat. They can't see the amazing sights. I watched so many people that couldn't even walk a couple blocks to see that temple. Tell people all the time, don't work out for the young you with the abs. Work out so you can enjoy the second 50 years of your life. You want to be strong going into your old age. Lifting weights improves your bone density. There's one surefire way to kick the bucket, and that's breaking your movement in your old age. You want to give yourself all the advantages you can. You still want to be able to hike a mountain at 80 years old like my dad. I want to wrap this up by saying fitness will improve your life in every way, but you don't have to do it the way everybody's showing or doing it. Find something you enjoy doing and start slow at first. You'll push yourself on your own at some point. If you're going to find a trainer, find one with a big heart, not one that's going to kick your butt the first day. That does you no good. Honestly, if you're in the Phoenix area, I'll go in with you sometime. I'll get you through the motions and get you started, because stepping through the door the first time is a scary thing. I was intimidated like anybody else when I first started. I didn't know what I was doing. I loved the Strength Training Anatomy book. That was my first book that taught me weightlifting. I think they're on their 8th edition now. And basically what it shows is different exercises, and it'll color the muscle depending on if it's the major group worked or a minor group worked. You can look up a lot of people's different splits. Everybody does it a little bit differently. There's push-pull day, leg day, upper body day, bis and tris, back and bis. My advice to you is figure out a way to work each muscle group twice a week at least, and then really think about what you want out of it. It's easy to study athletes and think about the kind of body you want as well. You see the long distance runners, they're super lean. You see the short distance runners, they're jacked. You have to decide the kind of workout that you want to do. And then you have certain genetics, but that doesn't mean you're stuck. In fact, most of you people out there that are bigger, you are so capable of having so much strength, and I'll bet you do already. It's a huge advantage. And those of you that are out there and lean and hard gainers, then guess what? When you start putting on the weight, you're not only going to still look lean, you're going to have some muscle on you. This channel is really about building you into a bigger, better person. And I don't mean better in your heart. I mean better equipped for the world, stronger. You're already a good person, or you wouldn't have landed on my channel, because I don't promise you anything easy. Some of the most kind-hearted people I know in the world are the people I've trained mixed martial arts with. And they're some of the toughest. And they're some of the scariest looking too. I want to make more of you scary looking people that are just the kindest people on the planet. You can build all this, right? You can't build your heart. Here we go, folks, with another pre-work chapter to bringing more underdogs to success and making more kind-hearted badasses. We're going to get back to the business stuff soon enough, but you're going to need that avatar. We'll see you next week.